Hey everybody, welcome into our NBA TV studios. It's Game Time, presented by State Farm. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside our 3D, Dennis Scott, and we've got a guest analyst.
Thank you.
The 10-year NBA veteran, the NCAA champion, Tony Delk. Welcome.
Thank you. Making my 2019 appearance on NBA TV.
I know.
Excited.
Well, we chose a 12-game Saturday night to go ahead and toss you right into. And it started earlier in the day with, well, some breaking news. LeBron James returned to the Lakers lineup Thursday after missing 17 games with a groin injury, but wouldn't play in this one against the Warriors as the Lakers manage his workload.
17 years workload for LeBron. Okay.
He said after Thursday he was feeling about 80%.
I'll take it, LeBron. I trust you.
Yes, I do.
Klay Thompson coming out hot in this one, driving to the rim for the layup. Then Steph Curry behind the back here to Klay for, well, exactly where he's comfortable.
I guess that illness is feeling pretty good.
Yes, it is. Still one of the best catch-and-shoot players in the league.
Perfect time.
If not the best.
Ooh. Right on cue.
He had 23 points in the first half.
That's what he does. He gets off to a fast start because he knows the ball's going to find him.
The Lakers, though, taking control here early in the third quarter. Kyle Kuzma getting the three to go.
And we're seeing how these young guys are growing as this year progresses.
Do you think that these young guys will be Lakers this time next week?
That's a good question, Chris.
$1 million question right now.
A great pass, $1 million pass by Rondo to one of those guys that possibly could be in the mix and be gone, but excellent pass, good hands by Ingram to finish the play.
Unsurprisingly, the Warriors came back with a boom here. DeMarcus Cousins rolling to the rim. Posterizing Kyle Kuzma.
Well, Kuz, I love your effort. You're trying to help the helper, but you have to rotate a little faster.
Sometimes you just got to rotate and just keep going. You don't just.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't rotate.
Just don't rotate. You're right. Don't rotate.
Andre Iguodala, though, getting hot.
Okay, Iggy, with a little pop in your step.
I love it. Up top, then knocking down the three. He finished with 17 points in this game.
That's a bonus right there, TD.
That is, but you can't teach experience.
It makes
he has
it
lots
fun
of it.
when Andre Iguodala is doing well. When he's turning back the clock.
Iggy for three.
Now, Steph Curry started the game ice cold. He was 0 of 8, starting through the first three quarters. It's not an easy thing, but Steve Kerr decided he had a solution.
Steph Curry, just 2 points through three quarters. What do you see that's going on with him?
We're going to trade him. I've had enough of that guy.
Stevie Wonder, the best in the business.
So Steph would check back in here. Get his first bucket.
Thanks to Zubiak. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Good night.
Too far out.
Sorry, KCP.
Miscommunication.
And then as soon as he saw the ball go through the basket, he went off for 14 points late in the game.
He needed 3 more quarters.
Right?
Yes. 3 more quarters would have definitely got him to 40.
The Warriors went on to win at 115 to 101. Let's go ahead and check in with Steph after the game. Here he is with Lisa Salters. Such a smooth way to remind you he's a 2-time MVP. What were you telling yourself? Well, I don't know. This doesn't happen often. I'm not used to having to come up with that inner dialogue.
No, and I just think the fact that you play the game the right way, you know the ball's going to come back and find you, and that's just the way the system is for those guys.
Right, and just understanding what you need to do to help your team out. It's not always about scoring. Just having Steph on the court gives you a guy that can make shots, but just his shot-making ability, you still have to stay at home, and it's still going to open up driving lanes for guys like Iggy, Klay Thompson, Durant, and it's a luxury when you can have a guy that you don't need his scoring.
Meanwhile, Steph's splash brother, Klay Thompson, scored 28 points, 10 of 15 from the field. What did you see from his shooting?
Well, first of all, when you're watching guys that understand that the ball movement and player movement is premium under the Warriors. So Klay Thompson's come in tonight and said, okay, Lakers, you get a layup, you're scoring, but we get out and run, we have great spacing. And y'all know I lead the NBA in knocking down catch and shoot threes. So I'm going to put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, get a couple layups, get myself going. But once again, when you have guys run to the three-point line, nobody's in the paint, you're able to get all the way to the basket and kind of trick the defense. Same play here. Y'all know I can make threes. You're pushing up on me. I'm putting the ball on the floor. I'm attacking the defense slowly but surely, getting myself in rhythm. Yes, I missed the game previously for the illness. Now let me get another layup. Good contest by Beasley, but not enough. Now, remember I said spacing? Remember I said players know their system? They know eventually the defense is going to suck into the lane. Now you pop out, leave it, splash. You knock down the three. You remind everybody, yes, I missed that game the other night. They missed my shooting ability tonight. I come back and remind people. So once again, the Warriors share the basketball, player movement, ball movement.
And when they're playing this well in February, it's got to be frightening for all 29 other teams.
I mean, it's scary anyway, just watching these guys play throughout the season, especially when everyone is healthy. If this team can stay healthy, you know, they could be NBA champion once again. But the way they play, the chemistry, how well, as you said, how well they move without the ball, they know one another. The best teams and teams that have won championship have great continuity, and that's because they've been together for a few years. When you have players that have been together 1 or 2 years, we don't really know each other that well.
Right.
But when you can put guys that can stay together 4 or 5 years, and also another key is keeping your coaching staff together. Being able to develop your young talent, but also having guys that your players trust in and they know. And a lot of times it gets missing because of the talent. But when I have 4 coaches that I've won championship with, those guys know me and I know them.
And somehow that continuity has not been disrupted by welcoming Boogie to the roster, who seems to be fitting in flawlessly.
It's fitting in flawlessly, and you can never overestimate the fact that he was there for training camp.
That's the key.
He didn't come in late. He didn't get traded there. Yes, he was in it, but he was rehabbing around the team. He was doing the training around the team. When he was getting healthy, Cuz went down to the G League. So little things like that lets me know his maturity coming into this situation is on a premium high. And why do we say that, TD? Because we know the microscope's on Cuz, because they win the championship, and he's a big reason on why they win. Now some teams are going to say, well, maybe he's grown up. Let's throw him a bank load of money. Let's get the truck backing up. But Cuz is like, wait a minute. This is a team that's believed in me. I'm not just going to run away. But then the Warriors saying, wait a minute, if someone offers you a 4-year deal one night, get your butt out of here. Go get that money.
Those guys are going to push him out faster than he came in. But I still think with Cousins, just knowing those guys and having played with them, and they understand him as a player, we're going to help you out. There's nothing better than playing with veterans who won championship, because those guys can have a different conversation than you go into another team and them not talking. They're talking about the playoff. This team is talking about winning an NBA championship because they have done it, and you can't teach that.
Having seen him and coached him as many years ago as you did, TD, are you surprised that he's fit into this Warriors system so seamlessly and so quickly?
I got a chance to see him, and even when GMs were coming in, and I was telling him, I said, hey, DeMarcus is a great kid. I said he loves the game. He wants to win. He's passionate about what he does. Don't get his attitude caught up with him not enjoying his teammates, because John Wall, all of us on the coaching staff, we all love DeMarcus. DeMarcus just wanted to win. At the end of the day, going to Sacramento, it was not a winning environment. You know, that organization was not winning at the time. They've done a great job this year. But when he was there, he wanted to win. But what he understood was, I have to play with guys that is as passionate about the game as I am and want to win as much as I do, and I will do my part. He understands his role with this team right now. He's not going to disrupt this team because this team has won championship, but having those veteran players make the transition a lot easier.
Well, we've got a lot more highlights to get to on a 12-game Saturday night as Game Time continues next, with James Harden and the Houston Rockets looking to get back on track after dropping 2 in a row in Utah to play the Jazz. We'll be right back.
And the money for Anthony Davis in this situation. We have breaking news. According to Chris Haynes, LeBron James will not play tonight against the Golden State Warriors due to, quote, load management. League sources tell Yahoo Sports. Now, LeBron James played 44 minutes in his first game back. The Lakers are facing the Golden State Warriors, the same team he hurt his groin against on Christmas Day. Rex, what do you make of this?
KD-itis. He's ducking KD. Steph-itis. Clay-itis. No. I was surprised he played 44 minutes the other night. Obviously, it's a little bit of a maintenance move, right?
Yeah. I thought he said it, you know, prior to this game, you know, right after he played so many minutes, it's going to be one of the situations that I have to see how my body respond, because we don't know. We run an emotional high after a basketball game. Everything's still feeling good. You got to win. You look extremely sharp after being off for so many months, you know what I mean, since playing, December 25th?
Yep.
So now he's back, and he probably felt a little ailments and, you know, probably just took the safe approach and getting back out there.
Well, Karan, before he returned, you said, look, LeBron doesn't look like he's 100% from seeing him in practice. So Where do you think he was when he returned if he wasn't 100%?
I think he was somewhere between 75 and 80, and that's still better than 80% of the association. So when you're able to go out there with his high basketball IQ, and just mind you, if LeBron's out there on the basketball court, the coverages change. You have to give him so much attention that it enables other guys to be the best possible version of themselves, have an open opportunity.
How old is LeBron now?
34?
34. You start, and this makes sense. It's a maintenance move.
Yeah.
You don't get groins and hamstrings when you're 24, but you start getting them later on. And when you start getting them, you've got to be careful to not come back and do too much too fast.
Young player that seems to be taking a bit of the load on his shoulders, Brandon Ingram, recently really carrying this team offensively with no Lonzo Ball in the lineup as well.
Really nice player, and you've kind of been waiting for him. You saw, the length and all the skill set when he was at Duke, and he's really, he got suspended early in the year, starting to put it together. He's a beautiful offensive player.
Yeah, he's a complete player. We went from, scoring the basketball in the paint with his wiry strength to now, being able to have that mid-range consistent shot, and now playing with LeBron and Rondo. He's been able to, start knocking down perimeter shots, catch and shoot, not holding the ball. 1,000, 1,000 type of player, and that's exactly what you need.
So he's averaging 22.5 over his last 6 games. So when we look at this Laker young core, and we talk about the Anthony Davis trade, and we saw that Brandon Ingram allegedly was not, or reportedly not, in that trade offer, is he now the crown jewel of this young group?
I think so. I think
Yes.
you want to have him to.
Yes.
Body language says yes, Karan.
And so does the smile. Look at it. Look, he knows it.
I mean, who do you think is the guy? The
Lonzo.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it varies, man. It goes back and forth.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I feel like you're being very, very tight-lipped on this situation, as if you don't want to give us too much information. That's fine. But just judging from talent and what they produce, Rex, who do you say is the crown jewel of that young group? Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, who, don't forget, that 27th pick that they used on Kyle Kuzma came over from that D'Angelo Russell trade with Brooklyn. So they got him essentially replacing a young D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. There's some thought that maybe they got rid of D'Angelo a little too soon.
Yeah.
I know some of us think that, but yes, I think Brandon Ingram is the crown jewel in that piece, in the piece of the puzzle. And at some point, they're going to have to give it. They're going to have to give it up if they want to get AD done now.
Me personally, I'm a huge Kyle Kuzma guy.
Yeah, I am too.
I love an underdog, and I think that just from last season, when you talk about adversity, I think he was the guy that was in the forefront, the poster child. In all the interviews, saying all the right things, having the coach back, even when, Father Ball was out there saying miscellaneous things. I just felt like he kept the foundation sound, thought he was the voice of reason, and he showed great composure and leadership, not just by talking, but actually playing and demonstrating it on the court also.
Well, someone who's shown leadership in the NBA Finals in big situations, one Kyrie Irving. But this week, he had some situations off the court in Madison Square Garden. They started chanting for him to come play for the New York Knicks. But here's Kyrie after the Celtics won that game.
Everybody's worried about their credibility. I don't know how this media empire works. I know it's a bunch of nonsense to me. So I have a focus in winning the championship this year, and that's where my focus is going to stay. So, even me saying something like that is not concrete enough for anybody. So, it is what it is. I got to go home and take care of my family and friends, and that's the stuff where it really matters for me. Loving the game of basketball, that's where it's always going to be. I didn't do this for the media. I didn't do this for the money. I didn't do this for the fans. I did it because I love the game, and I work extremely hard at my craft, and I want to be one of the greatest ever. So that's where my focus is. It's going to come. I'm appreciative how, grateful I am. I'm grateful for all the, everybody identifying the talents that I am, who wants to play with me. I'm appreciative of that. But at the end of the day, like I said this morning, I'm going to make the best decision for me and my family, and that's how it's going to go.
There is so much there with Kyrie Irving. I think the thing you're laughing about is the fact that he says, I don't know how this media thing works. He seems to be pretty good at it. In fact, when you're the lead in a major motion picture and was also an actor in high school, don't forget that as well. Kyrie Irving, a very overall talented guy.
Not familiar with this media empire, wearing an Uncle Drew hat. during the interview.
Excellent product placement.
Excellent.
Yes.
He's a brilliant guy. I love him. I do love him. And I love that Kyrie, he likes to talk. He's good in front of the camera. You can tell he's a little bit bothered. And look, I didn't play in an era where we had social media, the 24-hour news cycle, all this time. This is where I give you guys and this era so much credit. I don't know how you do it, and this is where I don't think these guys make enough money having to deal with this type of media crush. I mean, he can't leave his hotel right now without people just knocking his door down trying to get at him.
He's got a $21 million player option for next season. Seems like that will not be exercised. So where will he play next year? Will he be in a Boston uniform?
It's possible that he can be in a Boston uniform. I think that he will most likely be in the Big Apple. And I just think that, when you talk about the move of Porzingis and Tim Hardaway and Steve Mills and those guys did an excellent job of creating that cap space to acquire a guy like Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant or whoever, you know what I mean? Even possibly a Jimmy Butler or whatever, because, he's still not looking extremely happy there in Philadelphia. And look, Kyrie is just a pleasure to play with. He's a champion. He's a perennial all-star. He's someone that loves the game of basketball, which he stated. And obviously you see, this kid did not grow up playing against ghosts and basketball cones. He's been playing against live bodies, activity, and it's showing. He's a gamer. I want the best for him and his family, and he's passionate about his craft.
So it should be interesting to see what the Boston Celtics do. If that's the case, maybe before the trade deadline, we could see a Kyrie Irving trade, and man, that would be huge. We've got 12 games again tonight, 24 teams for the simple math on that. And here are some updates of notable players. Chris Paul sitting this one out for rest. LeBron James out, same designation. Eric Bledsoe also out with an Achilles.
Out for rest.
Hey, you know what?
Still looks weird.
It looks like, when you're growing up.
Rest.
When you go to the hospital, you go, when you're younger, you break your arm, you break your leg, you tear something. Now when you get older, you slept wrong.
Yes,
you get out of bed, you can't do nothing. Like, it's all those things happening right now.
Well, you know who is playing? How about one Lou Will? Age not affecting him. And look at that, tie score. The Clippers have fought their way back in this after being down by double digits in the second half.
He's a gamer.
NBA